Stevie Aquilina. He's coming to you from all the way down under. I won't try that accent right now because I'm going to butcher it. But I got to meet him a couple of times. Wonderful father and entrepreneur. He leads these webinars and definitely a force to be reckoned with. So I want to introduce you to Stevie, and he's going to get this started if he's there.
I'm here.
Yay.
G'day, mate. I'm from down under.
G'day, mate. Okay, on practice.
Yeah, thanks for the beautiful introduction, Callie, and thanks for being such a beautiful friend and inspirational leader. And you are to not just your team, but anybody that is making their way along the road on this mission, which is to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. And you're definitely a force to be reckoned with, and we have a great deal of fun when we get to see you too. Unfortunately, we've all been kept away from each other for almost a couple of years now, isn't it crazy? So yeah, really appreciate you being here, and thanks for looking after us. So folks, thank you very much for being here. Let me jump straight into the presentation. I don't want to waste your time. It's incredibly valuable because if you paid money to be here and you didn't like what I had to say, I could just refund your money, but your time is non-refundable. So I'm very grateful that you've decided to spend such value with us. So as we've just established, my family and I live in Australia, and originally we are from Sydney, but now we live on the Gold Coast, and that really was a dream come true, and we can make that happen. We're minutes from beautiful beaches, mountains, rainforests, coastal cities, theme parks. We absolutely love it. I'm very grateful for my life because I'm very blessed, and I have an income, time, and freedom that allows me to enjoy a really good lifestyle with my family. That's also taken us to many parts of the world that once upon a time, just way too far out of my reach, to be honest, because the good vibes and the good times that we have now have not always been the case. Now, I started off as a very difficult child to parent, to bring up to school. I never made the grades in school. I was often told I was stupid and useless. And I kind of figured out that when you're told something often enough, especially while you're young and impressionable enough, you kind of start to believe it. And so later on, I became a teenage runaway and a high school dropout. And with that kind of thinking, I just walked myself way off track on life's journey throughout my teens and 20s. The PG version is I had more than 20 different jobs in less that time. I was running with the wrong crowd, doing the wrong things. For over a decade, I was a very dumb but very good-looking bouncer in what used to be the most popular nightclubs in Sydney. So that was King's Cross, for anyone who is familiar with Sydney, Australia. And back when it was King's Cross, it's no longer like that anymore. I was a daydreamer, but I was not a daydream believer. I had big dreams. I really wanted to be, do, and have more. I really, really, really wanted to give more, actually. I wanted to be doing something significant. But I had little self-esteem, little sense of self-worth, little self-confidence. So I done little with my life and had a little to give. Physically, I've always been athletic, mainly in martial arts, even to right now. But back then, you wouldn't have known it, but I had health troubles, an autoimmune disease, inflammatory diseases, severe skin, respiratory, and gut diseases most of my life, and lots of bad injuries. I've practiced a very ancient and very hardcore martial art. Financially, I got myself stuck in go nowhere jobs with hopes going nowhere, no prospects, no financial security, no financial dignity. Now, I let myself get so behind that I had the phone, electricity, and gas cut off. I wasn't able to run my car on anything more than just the fumes of petrol, even if I could make that. And sometimes the car would conk out. I've not been able to make the rent, and I've been evicted. So I've been embarrassingly broke. I always believed in possibilities, but I doubted my potential. And so with that type of contradiction and uncertainty, it led to confusion and feelings of unfulfillment, unhappiness, frustration, and just really unable to be who I wanted to be. Now, here's some good things that have happened in my life. First, I met the girl of my dreams right then and there before. I was flawed and motivated more than ever before to become more. Now, key for me was she believed in me and always told me that I was more, even when I didn't believe it. And I figured out again when you're told something often enough. Now, second, I was introduced to this company's life-changing breakthrough, life-changing financial opportunity, and life-changing training and ethos. The company leaders are extremely successful, but not just successful, but also ethical people, very ethical. And they believed in me too, but more importantly, they taught me how to believe and become more. So now today, instead of having health and wealth problems, I've solved them, and I have the honor of helping others to solve them too because of this life-changing breakthrough. And instead of financial insecurity and indignity and being embarrassingly broke, I can now hold my head high with security and dignity because of this life-changing opportunity. And instead of being trapped, unfulfilled, unhappy, frustrated, I now have the ability to have more, but more importantly, I have the ability to believe and become and give more because this company's training and principles and ethos has shown me a life-changing better way. And so now I really want to do nothing less than spending the rest of my life doing more, bettering people's lives in at least any one of these life-changing ways too. So thank you again for spending this time with me and giving the opportunity to see if I can better your life in some way too, in some small measure at the least. So what I'm going to share with you first is the life-changing breakthrough. Now, this is the most significant health and life science breakthrough of our lifetime. Medical experts say this is a very big breakthrough. Bigger than the discoveries of DNA or penicillin, goes much deeper than that. And they were huge medical breakthroughs. And by the way, for 2 decades, science had declared that what I'm about to show you was once impossible. So it's kind of a miracle that we have this in our hands now. This is a breakthrough with enormous potential, proven by renowned universities and world-leading laboratory medical studies. It's fact-filled. A very advanced breakthrough, by the way, considered to be 15 years ahead of its time. Any health goals, challenges, problems, concerns, scares you can think of, pretty much remarkable results. And get this, drug companies wanted it shut down, but more about that a little later. That'll make more sense later on. Before I tell you what this is, let's be absolutely clear about what this is not, because this is nothing like anything else you've ever seen before. What we'll be talking about goes well beyond drugs or nutrition, well beyond any type of ingredients or technology already out there that you might already know about, because what I'm about to show you is an entirely new frontier in science that is truly groundbreaking and a category creating and real deal health care breakthrough. Right, this is the ASEA Redox cell signaling technology, which is a drink that contains nothing but active redox signaling molecules. What are those? Well, redox signaling molecules are made by your cells. So they're made by your body. They're already in you right now. They are native to your body, and they are your cellular messengers that affect your cell-to-cell communication, and therefore your cell-to-cell function and operation. And I mean everything, all the way down to your genetic expressions. Everything is affected by redox signaling in a very positive way. Redox signaling is a remarkable process because it is the actual process that empowers your body to heal itself by telling your cells. Redox signaling molecules are telling your cells how to protect healthy cells, how to repair unhealthy cells, and how to replace damaged cells. Redox signaling molecules also activate your body's immune system to protect against bacteria, viruses, and infection. The bottom line is that redox signaling is what keeps cells functioning and healing at optimal levels. Now, why is this also all important? Because we are all made of cells, all of us, every single part of us. We live and die at the cellular level. So right balances of redox signaling molecules makes for healthy cells, makes for a healthy body, and makes for a healthy life. Redox signaling molecules are the keys to life. And what I mean by that, they are essential for the activation and function of all of our normal physiology, all of our body's major systems, biochemical and physiological processes, all critically depend on redox signaling. Critically, because if all of your cells were to suddenly stop making redox signaling molecules right now, you wouldn't live longer than just a few more mere seconds. You could live days without water, weeks without food, but not more than seconds without redox signaling molecules. Without them, life ends. So if our bodies already make redox signaling molecules, then why do we need to give our bodies more? Well, when we're born, we do make an abundance of redox signaling molecules. That's generally why children have so much energy, how they can run around all day and not wake up sore the next day, and how they can bounce back so quickly from an injury or illness. However, as we age, along with stress, poor diet, toxins, and all sorts of other environmental assaults, our cells break down. And our body's ability to make redox signaling molecules also therefore breaks down, since it's the cells that's making them. And then without as many of these redox signaling molecules giving clear cell signals, our whole cellular protection and healing processes and all the functions and systems of our body become slow. Our cells break down more and more. Our production of redox molecules breaks down more and more. And it's a vicious cycle that leads to aging and a breakdown in our health, wellness, youth, and vitality. ASEA takes science seriously and so is highly committed to ongoing research with renowned universities and world-leading laboratories, allowing these outside and independently reviewed studies to prove the potential of ASEA redox signaling supplements, demonstrating the safety and efficacy of the ASEA redox products and certifying them as safe and effective in every body. Now, ASEA is within a very real and significant space of science, because redox science is based in Nobel Prize winning research, since the first Nobel Prize was awarded to these three professors back in 1998 for the first discovery of a redox signaling molecule. There have now since been multiple signaling molecules discovered with multiple Nobel Prizes awarded for research in this field. And by the way, just as a side note, outside of this redox biochemistry history, every single redox signaling molecule in existence exists in ASEA redox products. Now, if you went along to pubmed.gov, which is where all peer-reviewed medical studies are published, and you typed in redox signaling, you would see well over 33,000 results. There are more than 1,500 medical textbooks that have been published on redox signaling. And this slide that you're seeing right now will already be way out of date, with around 150 studies coming out almost every single month. And according to medical researchers, as well as reported in the media like the Huffington Post, in this article, they specifically wrote about ASEA. Redox signaling is one of the fastest emerging fields in science that will shape all of our lives in the coming years. And look, there are now multiple universities who receive tens of millions of dollars in grants to open up redox research centers. There are now global medical conferences and congresses being held about redox. Medical doctors are specializing in redox, with one such professor, a doctor at Harvard Medical School, who has a PhD and title that includes Director of Redox Medicine. And as for ASEA, outside of all of this, we're already light years ahead. Uncatchable. ASEA redox users enjoy cell signaling benefits, which translates, I hope you understand by now, to health at its most foundational level. Now, here's just one example of that again. ASEA redox has been scientifically tested and shown to signal the activation of your genetic pathways and affect your genes that improve your immune system health, that help maintain your healthy inflammatory response, that help maintain your cardiovascular or heart health and support arterial elasticity, that improves your gut health and your digestive enzyme production, and that modulates your hormone balances to support your vitality and wellness. Now, these genes are key in the health of every single individual and play a vital role, not just in the 5 mentioned human health areas, but also in dozens of additional genetic pathways that we won't mention here just to save time. Now, moreover, ASEA redox has also been scientifically tested and shown to enhance your body's own production and efficiency of antioxidants by up to 800%. So that is your body making and having a much more effectiveness of antioxidants 8 times better than what your body can do without ASEA, 8 times better with ASEA, and that's without an antioxidant supplement. So that is just your body doing better naturally. Now, further studies show that ASEA lowers oxidative stress. Now, this is very important. I know I'm throwing a lot of science on the wall here, but listen to this. The head professor of this university study has come forward saying that one of the most important effects of ASEA on disease risk factors is its ability to reduce oxidative stress. Now, that is very significant because all degenerative health concerns are caused by oxidative stress, and 95% of all adult conditions are degenerative. And you have a breakthrough here that is significantly, naturally, better than that, native to the body, reducing oxidative stress in very significant ways. Now, also from rigorous toxicology studies, ASEA has proven to be 100% safe, 0% toxicity. Why? Well, remember, I just said it before, redox signaling molecules are native to your body. They're already in you. Your body already makes them. It's just that now your body can't make as much of them as it used to be able to when it was younger and healthier. So if you have health challenges, or if you have people that you care about who do, if you have a wish that you could look, live, and feel young once again, if you have the very good sense for protecting your health because you don't want to become old and unwell. Aging is natural, but becoming unwell is not, right? And if you have a goal of having higher levels of human performance, greater athleticism, better in sport, bigger and stronger in the gym, any health goal you can think of, Redox users and medical doctors are seeing just remarkable results. But the good news is you don't have to take my word for it, because here are some medical doctors right now. Let's listen to what they have to say.
Redox signaling molecules are like the DNA whisperer. They signal cells to be healthy. And because of age, because of medications, because of toxicity in the environment, you lose your ability to make the redox signaling molecules. So having them with ASEA simply replenishes what your body is doing natively when you were young. You know, I've been in the business for 40 years, and this is the first time that I've ever heard about the redox signaling molecules, which to me is a breakthrough of the 21st century, akin to the electric light bulb in the 20th century and maybe even the discovery of penicillin. Because your body is a redox signaling program, and to be able to replenish it on a day-to-day basis, internally and externally, is not just a breakthrough, it's a game changer.
Health is something we have to earn. What can I do to get to the root of things and really prevent problems from happening? Is it possible? And the answer is yes.
You know, I think most people don't actually really consider their health until it's gone. So it's the choices that we make today that are going to determine the level of our wellness and our health and our healthy longevity tomorrow.
We want to keep people healthy. We don't want to see that deterioration. The whole process of the anti-aging and regenerative medicine that I'm so passionate about is on the premise that we can maintain energy, we can maintain health.
So prevention is key, but people need to value it, and people need to understand what it is and take responsibility.
Inside every cell in your body, you're constantly producing negative and positive molecules called oxidants and reductants, and the contraction of that name is redox.
So with these molecules, we're amping up that communication. We're helping that cell signal.
Without these cell signaling molecules, we simply wouldn't do the gene replication that we need, the DNA sequencing that we need. These redox signaling molecules interact throughout the body with every cell that we know.
Every cell in our body needs these molecules for communication purposes. The more balanced they are, the more abundant they are, the healthier we are.
ASEA actually has the combination of the oxidants and the reductants that the body makes. So all we're doing with ASEA is enhancing what the body is already doing.
Having a product, a technology that's native to the body doesn't have to worry about detoxifying it because it knows exactly what to do with redox molecules. It's one of, if not the safest recommendation I ever make to a patient.
They found a way to stabilize them outside the body. And you can actually put them back into bodies that are deficient in those molecules. That's a game changer.
To have something that at its molecular level is native to the body is nothing short of a breakthrough.
This is something that's foundational for health, for every cell. It affects every cell in our body. And not just the cells, but the very DNA within those cells. You know, we talk about the discovery of DNA as being a huge breakthrough, the discovery of penicillin. Yes, these were absolutely huge discoveries, but now we have something that actually goes even deeper.
This is where the future lies, and this is why redox chemistry and supplements that employ this are so powerful.
They literally turn on and turn off, signal every single process in every living cell. And to be able to stabilize a product that allows us to replenish that is just a phenomenal breakthrough.
This has the capability to change the landscape of the healthcare system as we know it.
So now that we've spoken about cellular health from the inside out, let's show you what's possible from the outside in. That's made possible by ASEA's topical versions of Redox technology. They are Renew 28, our Redox gel, and our intensive Redox serum. That's the two products tubes on the right. Now, these Redox technologies are supported and enhanced by the complementary and all natural ingredients products, our gentle refining cleanser, and our ultra replenishing moisturizer, the two containers on the left. Now, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So let's just show you what our ASEA Redox technologies are actually worth with these pictures, with these amazing health, anti-aging, and age-reversing results. Lines and wrinkles are smoothed out. Elasticity comes back to the skin. Skin blemishes, spots, dots, and marks. inflammations, irritations, aggravations, other signs of poor health to the skin being renewed. Even for young people too, being rejuvenated and improving the quality of life from the outside in and then back and forth the inside out. Now, even the aftermath of some of these unfortunate conditions are coming back to the proper surface of the skin. This is Rosie. The dramatic difference you're seeing in the first two pictures on the left here could not be seen by Rosie because she didn't take those pictures. And Rosie believed that the products were not working. Rosie went along to see her doctor. That's who told her about Asira and who took these pictures. And when Rosie told that doctor that the products didn't work, the doctor showed these pictures to Rosie and, well, the rest of the story can be seen here, right? Now, everyone says they want to see how Asira goes, but Rosie missed the moment-by-moment changes by not taking pictures, and you may miss them too, so please take pictures. That's how you see how Asira goes. Now, most people notice a result in a reasonable amount of time, around 7 weeks, like Rosie. Some people can have an experience within 7 days, and others can have an experience in around about 7 minutes, give or take. But some people need to apply more product, time, and patience, generally, when there's more going on with their health. Now, what we know scientifically is that redox sealing molecules are all the same. They're the same in you, in me, in animals, and in plants, and in bottles of Asira. Studies show that Asira contains nothing but native to your body redox sealing molecules. And studies also show that Asira redox products have an immediate positive effect. They work in every single person, every single time, and it would be scientifically impossible for them to not work in you and or hurt you, since redox sealing molecules are redox sealing molecules. They're all the same, right? But what does differ from person to person is the time it takes them to notice the change. Now, this doctor did a little experiment of his own on his very own face and used Renew 28 on only half of his face and not the other. Aside from my labels, can you see the true difference there? It's pretty noticeable once you see it. You can't unsee it. Now, it's not just for your face. Renew 28, as you can see here on a lady's arm, on the back of somebody's hand, getting rid of some spots, and also a belly, getting rid of some tightness around the belly there, or maybe some bagginess. Here's some more belly bagginess being tightened up, and here's some belly stripes. And also here's some bums. Now, these are pictures that are actually from a study by a world-leading laboratory, and this study was done because there were many reports coming in from all over the world from people saying that their cellulite had disappeared while they were using Renew 28. And so scientists set upon very strict studies to see if there was any truth to these stories. And what they found from their studies was after just 12 weeks, there was a 16% reduction in the appearance of cellulite. And so these scientists did ultrasounds to try and discover how this was happening. And what they saw was the subcutaneous fat, the fat that was causing the cellulite, was actually being dissolved from the use of Renew 28. So Renew 28 helps reduce the appearance of cellulite and wrinkles, enhancing skin texture, smoothing the skin, everything that we've just discussed, making your skin not just visibly younger looking, but more importantly, actually healthier skin. Renew 28 helps soothe skin discomfort after things such as shaving or sun exposure and the like. But Renew 28 is not just for the skin. It goes far deeper than that. And it helps soothe discomfort around the body. And you can know about it in about 10 minutes. So if you have something around your body that's hurting you, rate that hurting on a scale of 1 to 10. Give it a score, and 10 would mean the most you could be hurting. And apply your Renew 28 on that point, on that sore spot 3 times within just 5 minutes. And usually 9 to 10 out of every 10 people who do this will notice a soothing or reduction of that discomfort within approximately 10 minutes. Now, nothing that I've said here today has been intended to diagnose anything that you're going through. And Asira does not claim to treat or cure any diseases. And it is a historical fact. It is a universal truth that with every great breakthrough comes great opportunity. But before we go there, what I'd like to do is go to a very special gentleman who's going to, I mean, all the pictures that I've showed you of what's happening from the outside in with people. Could you imagine if you were applying these redox molecules and what they would be doing from the inside out? And here's an excellent depiction of that with this gentleman who's had an excellent result, a life-changing and life-saving result. So I'm going to hand it over to Kelly so you can have a proper introduction. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Stevie. And thank you for that almost introduction. So I'll finish that off here. So for those of you who do not know Dan Doyle, he is a world leader in the field of this Asira. He's had a lot of success in this, but he's also had it personally, which you'll hear his story. I've been lucky enough to actually work with him and travel the world with him a bit. We're right now traveling via Zoom, but we can't wait to be back in person. And his energy and conviction on this, you'll definitely see. So Dan, are you here?
Yeah, thank you, Kelly. Yeah, and I miss you guys. I mean, can't wait to get back physically with you and Fernando, and obviously Steve and Sarah. A little bit of a pain with what we're going through, but Zoom's the next best thing. So great to see you. Thank you so much for the introduction. I'm going to whiz through this because I'll hand back to you because I know we've got more from Stevie, and then you're going to close out. Thanks for having us on the call. Thank you for being on the call. My name's Dan Doyle. Obviously, Stevie spoke about these incredible products and the breakthrough. I'm just going to go through my story. I mean, this is a situation where we don't sell anything to you guys. We don't convince you to do anything. We have this incredible breakthrough. We're passing on information. Whatever you do with that information is totally up to you. If you're on here for the first time, I would say that somebody has handed you a gift, probably one of the most amazing gifts that you could ever receive in your entire life. Now, I grew up in Sydney, Australia. We travel the world extensively now. We're in Panama at the moment. And grew up playing many, many sports, including this one, bodybuilding. And this was the start of me being a young entrepreneur in the health and fitness industry. Over the next 20 years, building and selling 20 traditional businesses, employing 3,500 people. Fast forward 20 years from the age 24 to 44. Picture of me, not a bodybuilder anymore, but going to the gym every single morning. Thought I was fit and healthy, but that wasn't the case. 6 months after this photo was taken, 2011, doctors gave me some bad news and told me I didn't have one, but two major health challenges. A friend of mine standing next to me, Johnny Manor, 21 years old, he'd been through all the hospital visits that I had started in this photo. He got through, went into remission, but unfortunately after this photo was taken, his issue came back into hospital, and he never came out. We lost him at the age of 23. At the end of my 2.5 years of hospital visits, where as you can see, I've got no hair from the top of my head to my toes, I was given some really bad news and told to get my affairs in order. And I made a decision at that point to take the responsibility of my health back into my own hands, did some research. Research led to an alkaline diet, spent a lot of money on nutritional supplements, super juices, antioxidants, alkaline water from companies from around the world, and nothing worked. This is a picture of me 2 years looking after myself. This is 2014. A friend of mine reached out and said, I think I found something that can help you. Long story short, flew to Salt Lake City, Utah from Sydney, Australia, started on these amazing little molecules. In 3 hours, my body was detoxing so fast, I had little red spots all over my upper torso. In 12 hours, a 20-year stomach problem, a caffeine intolerance had gone away. And in 48 to 72 hours, all the lung damage from what they caused in that hospital for that 2.5 years, where I had trouble breathing and talking at the same time, my lungs were functioning perfect. Went back to Australia, kept drinking this product. Let's fast forward another 12 months, end of 2015. This is a picture of me the day the doctors told me no sign of those two major health challenges. Not only that, multiple injuries from playing sports had gone away. They were turning into that crippling issue as we get older. And also 20 years of pollen problems, sneezing and runny nose. So that was my journey back to health. And it was an incredible journey. But as time went on, 3 years on the product, you can see me looking a lot younger again. Always like to go back to 2014 when I didn't have my health, and then 2015, 1 year on the product, and then 2017, 3 years on the product. What you're seeing on the outside is a result and a reflection of what you're seeing on the inside. So things evolved. Things evolved for me in the early days with taking the product. My health was moving in the right direction. It became a responsibility to share this with others, a purpose-filled mission to help others. And that's what I started doing. And if it wasn't for the business model or the opportunity behind us here, I don't think I'd be here, because it was me helping others that gave me the ability to earn thank you checks from the company for helping people, which I invested back into my own health, purchased more product, saturated my body with more molecules, got it to the damage, and the rest is history in regards to my health. I believe that what we have is the most compelling opportunity that we will see in our lifetime. This is a perfect storm. We've got something that can help people potentially back to their health, but also to wherever they want to go financially. With that, I'll hand back to Kelly, and we'll get Stevie back on, and we'll talk about the opportunity, and then Kelly will close out with an incredible presentation on the different packages and what this can do for you guys.
Yes. I'm sorry, did you say I'm doing that right now, Dan?
You can hand back to Stevie for the opportunity. He'll hand back to you.
Ah, gotcha. I was totally here, and I heard all that. So I'm going to pass this back over to Stevie, and he's just going to go over a little bit more on the opportunity side of this, because that is the other amazing aspect of this. So if you think that there's just something you can take, there's actually more than that. And Stevie's going to give us a little bit of a glimpse on that, on what that is.
Awesome. Thanks for having me back, Kelly. Thanks, Dan. Okay, yeah, so as I said, with every great breakthrough comes a great opportunity. The greater the breakthrough, the greater the opportunity. And ASEA is a life-changing breakthrough, and that's created a life-changing financial opportunity behind all of this to make a living while bettering people's lives. Now, as for the Redox products, ASEA is the world's first and only redox signaling supplement in the world for two very simple reasons. One, for nearly 3 decades now, no one else other than just one man, Dr. Gary L. Samuelson, who's a medical and atomic physicist, no one but this gentleman has been able to figure out how to create and stabilize redox signaling molecules outside of the body. For the 2 decades before Dr. Samuelson's breakthrough work, by the way, science had declared that this was impossible. And two, ASEA is heavily patented, but not only is ASEA not allowed to be copied, ASEA can't be copied because there's no way for you to look into a bottle of ASEA and figure out how you can reverse engineer it, how someone else can make it, because there are trade secrets in the making of ASEA, not in the bottle. And so it really can't be copied. That means we have no copycats. That means we have no competition. That means no one in the world has what ASEA has, no one. No other products in the world can do what ASEA does, none of them, because they're not redox signaling molecules. Nothing else in the world can get to the depth and level of achievement in the human body as what ASEA can, because it is redox signaling molecules. And because redox works in every body, and because everybody needs redox, and because nothing in the body works as well or at all, in fact, without redox, doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a juice, pill, super shake, fancy water, CBD oil, or whatever it might be. I mean, our body needs nutrition, but nothing, including that, works in the body without redox. And because redox can't hurt anybody, and by the way, again, no other products can make that claim, or any of these claims that we've just made, therefore, ASEA holds massive opportunities above all else and across all health science sectors, whether it's healthcare, wellness, sports science, athletic performance, beauty, skincare, aging, longevity. These are multi-trillion-dollar industries, by the way. But again, ASEA is the only company in the world that the world can get a redox signaling supplement from. And so this really is an entrepreneur's dream. Now, our mission here at ASEA is to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. We can't do that on our own. And so we look for people to help spread the word. What we do is not complicated. We personally share ASEA with others. We share it with customers. The business isn't for everybody, but the product is for everybody. Now, what we do is we also grow and expand a global network of others also sharing redox with others. And this way you can be your own boss. You can build your own business, and you're in business for yourself, but never by yourself. So what we do is together we're better. We work together to improve the productivity of the network that we've built. So it's kind of like a franchise business, really. However, better than that, because instead of building restaurants and burgers like, let's say, McDonald's does, we, instead of building buildings, build people. And as for the products, we don't even need to make, ship, or handle those. The company does all of that for you. And so in this way, you can make an income like a franchise. In fact, you can make even way more than that, but without all the without all the stress and without all the expense. And so ASEA gives you an opportunity to earn money, really, practically just by sharing redox with others. And so for people looking for either an extra, part-time, full-time, or big-time, or legacy-leaving income even, for people who have dreams of a better life, income, lifestyle, there are levels of commissions to meet whatever levels of ambitions to be able to afford making your goals, dreams, and desires a reality. ASEA helps you create income that is both residual and leveraged. You receive residual income, not just from the first, but from all of the repeated purchases made by every single person you refer to ASEA. And because you can refer as many people as you like, and because they can buy as much product as they like, and because you get paid not just the first time, but every time they buy and rebuy, that makes the residual income potential for you unlimited. Now, on top, you also receive unlimited leveraged residual income from all of the repeated purchases made by every single person, your contacts and others also refer. There's no limits to this. There's no limits to how far and wide and deep around the world these referrals can go, and you get paid for all of them. So just like when you recommend anything that you already recommend, good movie, TV series, restaurant, cafe, book, whatever it might be, people tell people who then tell even more people, and it goes on and on. You know how this works. It's called word of mouth. It's natural, and it's also the number one and oldest, by the way, but number one most powerful and effective and most trusted and listened to forms of marketing in the world. Nothing beats it. Nothing ever has and never will. There's no limits, again, especially with how connected the world is today. Word spreads worldwide easily today. And ASEA is currently in 35 countries and opening new markets every year. We've been in operation for over 10 years. We were profitable with zero debt right from our inception, still to today. And based on existing trends, the annual turnover is projected to exceed more than $500 million in the next 5 years. Now, residual income is very impressive, but more importantly, it's very, very important. You have residual bills, so why not have residual income? Do you know what happens to most people by the time they're 65? Well, out of every 100 people, only one of them is wealthy. Only 3 are financially secure. 7 must still work to survive at 65, and not because they want to work, but because they have to. They're a slave to the dollar. They're forced to work. And worse still, 74 out of every 100 people are dependent on welfare by 65. Does it sound like a good retirement plan to you? Where are you falling, do you think, in these stats? And if it's not going in the top 4%, what's going wrong that's putting you in the other 81% who haven't figured this little financial thing out? And what we need to figure out, this is what I learned, we need to learn how to make money that's no longer dependent on our paid by the hour, selling our precious time for money, labor intensive or own activity job. This type of active income where you clock on, clock off, sell your time for money. Look, sooner or later, we won't be able to be as active as we are right now. And therefore, we won't be able to have as much money, income, as we have right now. And this was very concerning for me when this light bulb switched on, because my active income at the time already it wasn't enough as it was. And so what I learned was this is a very big problem, not just for me, but for 81% of people out there who get trapped in this little predicament. Money is an excellent servant. You can do a lot of good with money, but it's a terrible master when you're controlled by it. And so if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, the fact is you'll be a slave for money until you die. Now, I'm not saying jobs are bad. They're a great place to start for most of us. And if you truly do love your job, by the way, I'm not bashing it, keep it, because you're blessed. But still, come on. It makes sense to find a way to make money outside of your job that won't interfere with what you're currently doing, because only relying on a single source of active income is just not smart and dangerous to your financial security. So for people who are smart, who've been wanting to be in the right place at the right time, who are able to recognize a good thing, and who decide to take control of their security, finances, and freedom. And for people who aren't happy with the amount of money that they have right now, or perhaps aren't happy with how they have to make their money, for people who have dreams and desires and want more for themselves and for others, for a better life, ASEA is a significant opportunity to be paid a significant residual income from the inevitable growth of its global expansion to afford you those dreams and give you that real freedom. But what's more significant than that is the impact that you can have in people's lives, because there's nothing better than making a living from bettering people's lives. That's what you get to do with ASEA. It's who we become and what we do. That is the biggest reward over and above any riches it will make you. Now, you can make really great money here, that's for sure. You can even be rewarded on top with all expenses paid trips to 5-star luxury locations around the world. And let me tell you from personal experience, you'll have a great time meeting great people, making great friends, having great experiences, and a great lifestyle. But also what I've learned more importantly is that at the end of the day, it is the effect we have on others that is one of the most valuable currencies and rewards that there is. And that is the heart of ASEA. And it was demonstrated because the truth is, after big pharmaceutical companies were shown tens of millions of dollars and 17 years worth of powerful research proving ASEA was the real deal, those big drug companies offered to pay ASEA huge sums of money for the sole and exclusive rights to the ASEA Redox technology. However, those drug companies wanted ASEA to shut down, and they wanted to take everyone off Redox. But thankfully, the founders of ASEA, Virtus and his son Tyler Norton, both had the great foresight to see very grave concerns and consequences in such a deal because, well, quite frankly, Virtus and Tyler saw people rather than profits. They saw these people who went from severe health challenges that once left them and their doctors even feeling hopeless, to then these people experiencing life-changing power with Redox. And when Virtus and Tyler saw this, they were filled with a great sense of purpose and responsibility, and to get this breakthrough for humanity out to the world. And so they couldn't in good conscience sell out, and so that's why they didn't. They said no to the payout and yes to the people. For Virtus and Tyler, what had once started out as just a very big business play had now become more. And the ASEA founders turned down that huge sum of money from big pharmaceutical companies, deciding that they would go the supplement route and the health route rather than the drug route, in order to expedite the availability of this technology globally and make it available immediately to you and me and everyone without a prescription. One of ASEA's foremost guiding principles was demonstrated here to me, as is perpetually demonstrated to me in every single decision they make, and that is that they always put people and principles over and above ego and economics. Now, the ASEA founders and corporate team come from big backgrounds. They're up to Fortune 50 backgrounds. They're exceptionally experienced in running very big, profitable, and global businesses. But their corporate soul revolves around putting people first, putting you first, and having an impact and making a difference and helping you and others to believe, belong, and become more, and to be a force for good in the world. So you are in very good hands. Get back with the person who shared this with you, invited you here, let them know what stood out to you the most. And if you have any questions, ask them. They can point to where you can find the answers easily. Now, there's plenty of university studies for you to go cross-eyed over. But more importantly, there's hundreds of thousands of real people's life-changing Redox experiences for you to see that ASEA is the real deal. So if you want to be happier and healthier, if you want to live younger, stronger, longer, you may just want to become an ASEA customer, and we welcome you with open arms. However, if you have more in your heart, if you have dreams and desires, if you want to be, do, have, and able to give more, if you want to help people be happier and healthier, if you want a better life, better income, better lifestyle, if you want to increase the prosperity of the planet, if you want to make a difference in the world, then you can become part of this Redox reality, and you can become more. And if you'll just pass this information on for many, many others, just as someone's passed it on to you, you can and you will in fact better the lives of many, many others, in your life, as a byproduct of that, will become better in many, many ways. So thank you very much for spending this time with me. May you always be happy and well. And thanks, Callie. Thank you very much.
Cool. Thank you very much, Stevie. So I just wanted to round this out by going over a few points that folks might want to be interested in here. Now that you've seen all that, let me just share my screen. And I'm going to, there we go. Okay, so we've gone over what ASEA is, and I just wanted to show you a few things here. This is our full line of products. We have 9 products total. We went over the ASEA Redox, that blue bottle, a little bit on the Redox gel. And as you see, there's a few more products, which is the skincare line, and then the supplements. We didn't really talk too much about that, but we have an amazing supplement line here which has a special absorption complex that is patented, so that way you actually can find these within the bloodstream very quickly. I can attest, I've used these. I usually don't notice much with supplements when it comes to things like this, but definitely notice a difference with these, and no sensitivity, which I'm pretty sensitive usually. And one note on that, you won't necessarily find those in every single open market, so if you talk to the person who introduced you to this, you can see if those are available in your area too. Now, this is a really key point when it comes to correct expectation. A lot of times people want to try this and they'll say, well, let me just try a bottle, or let me try it for 1 month. So we're dealing with cellular health, and when that happens, things can take some time. This is not a drug, so when you're having the body repairing itself, you can see there's different expectations. So as you can see, most people in the first week, they'll notice about 10 to 15% of people will notice some kind of result. As you get to a month, it starts to grow. 2 months, and by 3 months you can see 95% of people will have noticed some sort of change happening there. So that's why it's recommended to at least give this a 90-day try. It depends on your issues and things, and again, whoever you're working with this product should be helping you with that. I mean, I can tell you for myself, I was noticed some things in the beginning, but for the full handling what I was trying to do, it was actually about 1.5 years, so, which is pretty fast, because for what I had, some people dealt with it 20, 30 years. So Year and a half was pretty fast. And we have this topical gel, which we talked about. I won't go too much into that side here. And this again is our whole food nutrition line. So we have that source, which is a whole food and micronutrient complex. We have the omega-3, which is a fish oil. And if any of you have had that experience of having fish oil and having that feeling of where you burp it up, that is the one thing that I hate about fish oil, and so I would never take it. This one, you actually don't get that, and I've tested it, and many people will attest that you can have that result with this. Then you have a Life Max, the orange one, which is for cellular support, and the Biome, which is a full spectrum probiotic with prebiotics, which are necessary for them to work together, so that way the body can actually have some great benefit. This is a really key point. A lot of times people are excited, they want to just jump online and try to find this product so they can get it right now. And some people will run to Amazon or to eBay, and although you can sometimes find it on there, just know that it's actually not an approved place to get this product from. And so you want to definitely get this from that person who introduced you for a couple of reasons. One, you have the guaranteed quality. There's no guarantee if you get it on a site like that. You also have make sure it's not expired. You have guaranteed safety of the product. You have support and education, and you have even this eligibility for free products. We have these loyalty points, which are great. So just for being on that, having those shipments come to you, you'll get these thank you points from the company, and you can use that towards free product. I've gotten thousands of dollars of product because of that system, so it's great. So there's a couple ways that you can get into this product, as also Stevie went over, as a consumer. And you can have different pricing on that depending on if you're having it on the monthly shipments or if you're just buying it without that. And then of course as the associate. And with that one, let me just see my next slide here. Yes, you can do it as a part-time associate just to get your product paid for, or even full-time associate. Myself, Stevie, Danny, we're in that full-time category here. And then just to look at the pricing, so as you can see, you as a preferred customer, which is where you're getting those shipments coming to you on a monthly basis, you do get that 25% off that retail pricing. Preferred customers, you don't have any type of a fee. You can just set that account up. It's very user-friendly and easy to control. You can move where those shipments are going to, so if you're traveling, not a problem. And then if you want to get that associate account, it's only $40 US to start that account. That gives you that account for a whole year. If you choose to renew it, it's a $25 annual renewal. Not a bad price for getting all of this, getting a whole home-based business, etc. for that price. And then you can see the different benefits that come with the different accounts there. So the whole point of this is to support your body's ability to maintain and reclaim health. And I always like to end this off, and Kayleen kind of brought this on, where this is a quote from our founder, Vertus Norton. It says, "We're all at the start of something big with great purpose, and right now is the moment that we begin influencing the future. We can change the world." And so with that, pretty much brings us to the end of our presentation. I know we have a few more minutes left. Let me just get my screen sharing stopped. I know you guys.
Hey, Kelly, I was just thinking we've got a few new people on here. Do you mind, because we do have a bit of time, going through your testimonial as well, what you experienced?
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Sure.
Awesome.
Special bonus for those who stayed to the end. So yeah, my name is Callie, and well, for my story as far as how it went on this, it was pretty interesting. Actually, let me just grab one photo here, a couple of pictures. It's a little easier when you see the photos, because
much better for sure. And just for everybody on the call, we do have a training call on in about 10 minutes time. More than welcome to stay for that as well, the global expansion team call.
Yes. So I'll just share real quickly my story on this. So this is me. I was working with my husband We were doing construction. We had our own company. And as you can see, I was in good shape. I was active all the time and doing things. And so little did I know that something was about to happen that was going to pretty much stop me from my work and everything in my life. And so in 2017, I very quickly lost about 50 pounds, 20 pounds in 1 week. And as you can see here, although I'm smiling, this was torture this day. And this is kind of one of the things, sometimes people have stuff going on and you have no idea, because when you're out in public, you put on that face, you smile, you don't necessarily let people know what's happening. And so this was me at that about 100 pounds, and that was a few days later. Very shortly after this, I had to go straight to the hospital, and there began a whole journey for the next year and a half of being in and out of these things and running to the restroom 24/7, at the worst about every 15 minutes. So as you can imagine, I had no quality of life, and I had no life at all. It was just my bed, the bathroom, and that was pretty much what I could do. And so this came at a time in my life that I had no idea that I was going to need it, but it was something that was instrumental in helping me to get back to the point of where I am now, which is here. So about 2 years later, you can see, got my weight back, got my life back, no longer running to the restroom, no longer having my life revolve around basically a 10-foot kind of square area. And now it kind of got my attention back out in the world and gave me a whole new opportunity as well, because I started this product and my intention was only to take the product for myself. I had no desire to do this as any kind of a business or share this or anything like that. But after experiencing what I did and seeing what's happening in the world of our medicine, especially in the United States, you know, we do a lot of things where you have a symptom and then you get a medication for it. Another symptom, another medication. And the route that I was on, I would have been on at least 15, because side effects were happening from one, and so let's throw another one on. And it just was a dwindling spiral. So to be able to get off of that and now be able to help others to realize that, you know, you can actually have hope and there's another solution, that's, I think, invaluable. And so I'm just happy to be able to be here to share this. I've gotten a whole new life out of this. I've gotten a whole new set of people that I would have never met in 1,000 years. And now getting to talk to folks who are coming from all over. I don't actually know where you all are from, but I'm sure you're from all over different places. And yeah, so that's what this company does, and just happy to be here.
Thanks, Callie. Thank you so much for sharing that. We've got a little bit of time for Q&A before our next call, which is top of the hour in 7 minutes. So anybody that has any questions on what we've been through, anything about the product, the company, anything at all, except for any particular condition, because if you ask a question about a particular condition, we're going to ask you a question back, and that question is there a cell involved, which there is in every single issue that anybody gets. So when there's a cell involved, Redox is involved, and this sure can help with anybody going through any challenges that they may be going through. Cindy's here.